Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're digging into some serious questions. Why is Las Vegas tourism down in 2025? Will Las Vegas go bankrupt within 5 years? The numbers tell a pretty stark story, and we've got data, expert voices, and real impacts to share. Let's get into it. First off, the numbers aren't pretty. In April 2025, Las Vegas saw roughly 3.3 million visitors, which was a 5.1% drop compared to April 2024. In fact, tourism has been declining for 4 months in a row. Meanwhile, aircraft passenger volume through Harry Reid International Airport dropped 3.6% year-over-year in April. Statewide gaming and strip hotel performance are also feeling it. The hotel occupancy rate plunged 14.9% in June, and the revenue per available room dropped nearly 28.7% in the same period. Over the first half of 2025, visitor numbers are down around 7.3% compared to the same period in 2024. In June alone, Las Vegas welcomed just under 3.1 million tourists, an 11% drop from June 2024. International visitation also took a big hit, down 13% in June year-over-year. Hotel occupancy in that month fell by about 15%. So what's going on? Let's break it down. Number 1. Rising costs and price sensitivity. Many travelers say Vegas has gotten too expensive. Resort fees, food, drinks, entertainment, all of it is pushing up the cost of a trip. Some analysts point to price surges as a significant driver of the drop in visitors. Food and drinks are another place where the price creep is real. A burger and fries can cost $25. Cocktails, easily $18 minus $25 depending on where you are. Even snacks and bottles of water in the casino can approach highway robbery prices. Factor in tips and service charges, and your daily dining budget in Vegas can balloon fast. Shows and entertainment aren't immune either. Tickets for top-tier Cirque du Soleil shows, headliners, or big residencies often run $100 to $300 or more per person. Add in convenience or processing fees at checkout, and that price goes even higher. Parking used to sometimes be free or nominal at major resorts. Now it can be $20 to $40 a night or more depending on location. Transportation internally has inflated too. Rideshare or taxi fares have increased. Some attractions require shuttle or monorail rides with additional cost. Even simple tram rides inside casinos or between properties might come with surcharges you didn't expect. And then there's the psychological side. As prices rise, people become more selective. That's what price sensitivity means. When travelers see the all-in cost is much higher than the sticker cost, many skip destinations, shorten their stay, cut back on extras, or wait for deals. It leads to more comparisons, more hesitation, and more cancellations or abandoned bookings. One of the biggest complaints travelers have is that the base price is misleading. It artificially attracts you with a low number, but the real cost is much higher after all the add-ons. That gap erodes trust. Repeat visitors feel burned when they say, "I thought I booked a $180 night, but it turned into $260 once fees were added." Resorts and hotels know many people don't read every line or compare final totals, so they bake in the hidden costs. And because Vegas is a high-demand destination, many travelers absorb it, until they decide it's not worth returning. Over time, that behavior affects arrival numbers. So what can you do as a traveler to manage this rising cost environment? Always look for the all-in price, not just the base fare. Before you click book, scroll down and see every fee, tax, surcharge, resort or service charge, and parking cost. Check the hotel's official site. Sometimes booking direct includes or waives certain fees third-party sites don't. Time your visit. Off-peak days, midweek rates, shoulder seasons. They often have better deals and fewer premiums. Bundle where possible. Packages that include show tickets, meals, or perks often bring in more value than buying each item individually. Know what's optional. Do you really need the most expensive show, valet parking, or the top shelf drinks? Trim where you can. Watch for promotions, loyalty programs, or coupon deals, especially local offers. Sometimes they offset the sneaky extras. The bottom line is that Las Vegas is becoming an expense-heavy destination. That means travelers are getting savvier. As costs rise, people become pickier and more demanding about transparency and value. The trick for you is to plan ahead, read the fine print, and make decisions based on the true final cost, not just the face rate. Number 2. Drop in international visitors. Historically, international tourists, particularly from Canada, Mexico, and other countries, have been vital to Vegas, one of the biggest factors behind the current slowdown in Las Vegas tourism. The drop in international visitors. For a city built on global appeal, this change is making a huge impact on hotels, casinos, and the entire Vegas economy. Let's start with the numbers. In 2025, Las Vegas has seen a significant decline in international arrivals. Visitor data shows that international tourism is down around 13% year over year, and those losses are being felt across nearly every major resort and attraction. Overall, international travelers now make up less than 10% of total visitors, down from closer to 15% before the pandemic and major economic shifts. Now, that might not sound like a lot at first, but here's why it matters. International visitors stay longer and spend more. The average domestic visitor spends about $1,100 per trip, while the average international traveler spends closer to $2,000 or more. They're not just gambling, they're booking premium rooms, luxury restaurants, shows, tours, and shopping. When they disappear, the entire spending ecosystem shrinks. So why are fewer international tourists coming to Vegas? There are several key reasons. First, rising costs. Airfare to the U.S. has increased sharply, and once visitors land, they're hit with higher hotel prices, resort fees, and overall expenses. For many travelers from Europe, Canada, and Asia, Vegas simply isn't as affordable as it once was. Second, stronger U.S. dollar exchange rates. A strong dollar makes trips to the U.S. more expensive for international visitors. When their home currency buys less, that same Vegas vacation becomes 15 to 25% more costly depending on where they're coming from. Third, visa and travel restrictions. Some countries are still experiencing longer U.S. visa processing times and stricter border screening. It's not as easy to plan a spontaneous trip to America as it used to be. For international guests, especially from Asia and parts of Latin America, that's a major deterrent. Fourth, global competition. Other destinations like Dubai, Singapore, Macau, and even European cities are now offering similar experiences. Luxury hotels, casinos, entertainment, and nightlife with fewer fees and easier access. The novelty of Vegas isn't enough anymore when travelers can get glitz and glamour closer to home. And fifth, shifting travel trends. Many international travelers are focusing more on cultural and experiential destinations. Instead of flashy vacations centered around gambling or shopping, there's growing interest in local authenticity, ecotourism, and off-the-beaten-path travel. Vegas is adapting, but it's been slow to catch up to that global mindset. We spoke with a few local workers and tourism analysts about what they're seeing. One casino host said, "You can tell international traffic is down. The big spenders from Europe and Asia just aren't here like before." A retail manager at a major outlet mall added, "We used to hear a dozen languages in the store every day. Now it's mostly Americans. Sales are slower." The impact goes beyond the casinos. Fewer international guests means fewer luxury retail sales, lower demand for upscale dining, and less high-end entertainment spending. It's also affecting conventions. Many global companies are reducing overseas travel budgets, which hurts Vegas conference attendance. The city is trying to respond. The Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority has increased marketing in Canada, Mexico, and the UK, and partnerships with airlines aim to restore more direct international routes. But rebuilding that market takes time. Trust, affordability, and convenience all have to return before numbers rebound. So what does the future look like? Experts say recovery will depend on three things: stabilizing travel costs, improving visa processing, and keeping the Vegas experience worth the price. If international travelers feel the value again, great entertainment, world-class dining, and easy access, they'll come back. But if costs keep rising, they'll keep choosing other destinations. In short, Las Vegas isn't losing its global charm, it's losing accessibility. The demand is still there, but travelers are watching their wallets and their flight times more closely than ever. Number 3, sluggish consumer confidence and economic uncertainty. With inflation, interest rates, and fears of a slowdown, people are rethinking discretionary travel. Analysts say many potential visitors are postponing vacations. Right now, the economy is sending mixed signals. Inflation has slowed, but prices remain high, interest rates are still elevated, and everyday costs, from groceries to gas, are putting pressure on people's budgets. That means discretionary spending, like vacations and entertainment, is often the first thing to get cut. In Las Vegas, that slowdown is being felt across the board. Hotel occupancy rates are down double digits compared to last year. Average daily room rates are slipping, and casino floors aren't as crowded as they were even 6 months ago. Analysts say consumer confidence, which measures how comfortable people feel about their financial future, is at one of its lowest levels since the pandemic recovery. When people feel uncertain, they adjust how they travel. They book fewer nights, downgrade hotels, skip expensive shows, and spend less on dining and shopping. Instead of that $1,200 Vegas weekend, they might do a short staycation or delay the trip entirely. This shift in mindset is what's driving the slower tourism numbers. Local businesses are feeling it too. Restaurants that used to be packed every night now have slower midweeks. Retail stores in popular destinations like the Forum Shops and Fashion Show Mall are seeing smaller ticket sizes per customer. Even tips and service jobs are being affected, as fewer visitors mean fewer shifts for hospitality workers. It's not just locals noticing this change. Visitors are also reporting that Vegas feels quieter, with less of the usual buzz. Some tourists say they're waiting for better deals or lower fees before coming back, and that hesitation adds up. Economic uncertainty plays a big role here. Many people are worried about job stability, high credit card balances, and the cost of living. Even travelers who can afford to visit are being more cautious, questioning whether a trip to Vegas is worth the cost when they could use that money for bills, savings, or debt. For international travelers, the effect is even stronger. With a strong U.S. dollar, visiting America has become more expensive, reducing incentive for overseas visitors. Meanwhile, U.S. consumers are facing record household debt and less disposable income. All of this creates a perfect storm of hesitation. Casino operators and hotels are responding with promotions, midweek discounts, and lower resort fees to attract more bookings. But those deals also cut into profit margins, making it harder for businesses to recover. In a city where tourism drives nearly 60% of the local economy, a slowdown like this doesn't just impact visitors. It ripples across every sector, from transportation to real estate. The truth is, Las Vegas thrives when people feel confident. It's a destination built on fun, escape, and indulgence. Things people turn to when they're not worried about their finances. But when uncertainty sets in, those luxuries take a back seat. Experts believe that as the economy stabilizes and confidence improves, Vegas will bounce back, just like it has after past downturns. But for now, visitors are watching every dollar, and the city is learning how fragile its tourism engine can be when people tighten their budgets. So if you've noticed shorter lines, better room deals, or quieter casinos, that's why. It's not just the heat, it's hesitation. People are feeling cautious, and Vegas is feeling it too. Number 4, fewer big conventions and events. Vegas has long depended on conventions and trade shows. When those attendance figures slip, it has ripple effects on hotel bookings, restaurants, and entertainment. Las Vegas typically hosts over 20,000 conventions and meetings each year, bringing in millions of business travelers. Events like CES, SEMA, and World of Concrete have historically packed hotels, restaurants, and casinos. But this year, attendance numbers are noticeably lower, and some big shows have either downsized or skipped Vegas entirely. The reasons are pretty clear. First, corporate travel budgets are shrinking. After years of remote work and virtual meetings, many companies realize they can save huge amounts of money by hosting online or hybrid events instead of flying thousands of employees to Vegas. Even when companies do send teams, they're cutting costs: fewer people, fewer nights, and smaller venues. Second, economic uncertainty is making businesses more cautious. High inflation, interest rates, and tighter profit margins mean companies are rethinking spending on travel and entertainment. Conventions are expensive. Between registration, hotel rooms, booth setups, and after-hours entertainment, one major event can cost a company tens of thousands of dollars. Many just can't justify it right now. Third, some organizers are choosing new destinations. Cities like Orlando, Dallas, and even Nashville are aggressively competing for conventions, offering cheaper rates and newer facilities. They're marketing themselves as value destinations, and for companies watching their budgets, that's hard to ignore. And fourth, Las Vegas costs have gone up. Room rates, resort fees, catering, and transportation are all higher than they were a few years ago. When planners compare the total cost of hosting a Vegas convention versus somewhere else, Vegas doesn't always win anymore. This downturn in conventions is affecting more than just the event centers. The entire city feels it. When a major trade show like CES or SEMA comes to town, tens of thousands of people flood in. They fill hotels, eat at restaurants, take taxis, gamble, and shop. When those crowds don't come, the midweek economy drops hard. Weekends are still strong for leisure travelers, but weekdays used to be powered by business travel. And that's what's missing right now. Local workers are seeing it too. Servers, bartenders, cab drivers, and event staff all rely on the convention rush to make money. Without it, many are reporting fewer hours and smaller tips. Hotel occupancy midweek is down, and many resorts are offering discounts just to fill rooms. To put it into perspective, business travelers usually spend twice as much per day as leisure tourists. So when conventions shrink, Vegas doesn't just lose people, it loses high-spending visitors who keep the economy thriving Monday through Thursday. The Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority is trying to turn things around. They've been working to attract more mid-sized conventions, expand international trade shows, and even bring in non-traditional events like esports and influencer conferences. But recovery takes time. Planning a large convention can take years, and the competition among cities is fiercer than ever. Some experts say the city needs to reinvent how it markets conventions, focusing more on value, experience, and convenience. Others say the problem isn't just Vegas, it's a broader trend. Remote work changed the way companies operate, and business travel hasn't fully bounced back to pre-pandemic levels anywhere. Still, there's optimism. Vegas has the infrastructure, the entertainment, and the appeal. But the city has to adapt to this new era of travel. Conventions are the backbone of weekday tourism, and without them, the economy feels the difference. So the next time you visit Vegas and notice lighter crowds midweek or lower hotel prices, that's not by accident. The big conventions that once kept the city buzzing all week long just aren't what they used to be, at least for now. Number 5. Alternative entertainment and remote options. Part of the appeal of Vegas has always been being physically present: casinos, shows, nightlife. But now more gambling is happening online, and people's tastes are shifting. Some younger travelers might prefer experiences that don't require as much travel or expense. Some analysts cite generational changes in preferences as a factor. Number 6. Policy and geopolitical factor. Several local leaders point to government policies, tariffs, immigration enforcement, foreign travel restrictions, as deterrents, especially for would-be international tourists. For example, Canada has historically been a strong feeder market for Vegas, and fewer Canadians are flying in now. Let's hear from some voices on the ground. Steve Hill, CEO of the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority, in an April interview said, "We're not happy with the downturn. It does not mean that the public should extrapolate that into being COVID-like or Great Recession-like. We do not see that right now. From a longtime hospitality worker in Vegas. We've never seen business this bad. We barely have reservations at the steakhouse, says Gloria Valdez. And the Culinary Union has even coined the term Trump slump, saying, if you tell the whole world they're not welcome, they're not going to come. Workers across Vegas are reporting cuts in shifts, declining tip income, and uncertainty as foot traffic fades. What does this mean for the city and the future? Legions of service workers, servers, housekeepers, entertainers are feeling the squeeze. Some are losing hours or jobs. Casinos and hotels are slashing room rates and offering more aggressive deals just to fill beds. Revenue per available room is down sharply. The city's broader economy will likely feel it. Retail, hospitality, transportation, and everything tied to tourism will see less business. Vegas may need to rethink its value proposition. More promotions, bundling, localized packages, or shifting focus to new markets. Long-term, if these trends continue, Vegas risks losing market share to other destinations that offer lower cost or fresher appeal. In short, Las Vegas tourism is down in 2025 because the math isn't working for enough travelers. Higher costs, fewer international visitors, shaky economic confidence, and shifting entertainment habits are all combining to shrink the city's usual draw. The stats show a serious decline. Visitation down 5 to 11%. Hotel occupancy down double digits. RevPAR collapsing. The local voices make it personal. And the future is going to depend on whether Vegas adapts or fights to retain its place as an unbeatable destination. If you found this breakdown useful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Have you been to Las Vegas lately? Let us know in the comments what you thought while you were there, because in Vegas, what happens next could matter to more than just Sin City. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next video.